not one of them has a clear plan to defeat ISIS. So she was simply referring to the stakes in this election.
Robbie, are we going to hear about the data breach anymore? Is it over now? Apology accepted?
Senator Sanders apologized. She very graciously accepted his apology. We look forward to the independent audit that's going to be done on the data.
There was a tonal shift in this debate. It seemed like they were going after each other a little bit more. What do you make of that, and why do you think that's happening now?
Well, look, there were some legitimate disagreements that you saw on that stage. For example, Secretary Clinton does not support raising taxes on the middle class. Senator Sanders did. So there were important differences like that. But you know, those pale in comparison to the differences that all of them have with the Republicans.
I think that her command of that first segment across the board in foreign policy will be what I think people take away from this debate. I think that she was just the depth that she showed, her capacity to walk into the White House and act as commander-in-chief is really very solid.
Was your focus tonight more on the general electorate than the Democratic primary? Because many of these issues were appealing to the country at large, it seemed, and I wondered if that was the deliberate strategy.
I think that what she was trying to do, she is trying to win every vote. She's going to win the delegates to be the nominee. She's competing here in New Hampshire, where it's obviously very close. She's competing for every caucus goer in Iowa, where we maintain a lead. But I think that our first job is to win this nomination. That's what she was doing tonight. And she was doing it, I think, by demonstrating that she can take it to the Republicans and win the presidency and keep the country on the right track.
More that we need to share the burden with others. He doesn't think, Qatar should be spending $200 billion, on World Cup games and not participating enough in getting rid of ISIS in their own backyard. So I think, Bernie Sanders connected with people. His agenda, health care for all, universal college education, making a minimum wage a living wage in America, equal pay for equal work. All of these issues, I think they resonate very powerfully with people. And he also made it clear, and I think put Wall Street on notice, okay, that when Bernie Sanders is president of the United States, the free ride is over, okay? I think he made it very clear. So I think it was a great night for us.
How many more people will be fired over this voter database?
No, listen, we're conducting an investigation right now. When we have all the results in, we'll make decisions about what discipline is appropriate. I think Bernie on the stage tonight handled it very well. And put that issue where it belongs, okay? Listen, we don't have a dispute with the DNC right now. We wanted our voter file. We had to go to federal court, and we got it. Okay, and as long as we can have that, we're happy to have a positive relationship with the party.
Hey, Tad, before the debate, you put out a pretty snarky tweet about and then on the debate stage, the senator was very contrite and much more gracious about this. Which is the senator's campaign tone?
Let me respond to that. The Clinton campaign put out a little prequel or something, mentioning me personally, alluding to something I said on Bloomberg yesterday about our fired employee making a mistake. Okay, so I did answer that charge that they made against me by name, by the way. Now, listen, as Senator Sanders demonstrated tonight, we're very happy to talk about the issues. We want to talk about the issues. He wants a debate on big issues where there are big differences. So I did respond to an attack against me. I think maybe it wasn't too clever after all, but I got a kick out of it, at least at his Twitter.
But so, different tone from Senator Sanders, and do you think that his tone is what we're going to hear more from you guys going forward?
Absolutely. Listen, we want a constructive debate on issues. That is what we would like. And I'll tell you why we want it. For two reasons. One, he believes the American people deserve it. Two, we believe we're going to win the election if we had that debate. Okay?
Was there an agreement in advance to apologize?
He's hitting her with a wiffle bat.
Well, no. Listen, as I said, I got attacked by name for saying mistake. I responded in a way which I thought was appropriate. But the candidates got to debate the issues tonight, and I think the way they did it was the best way to do it for the American people and for the Democratic Party.
Did he sort of follow the script on that stuff, or did he kind of back off?
Listen, let me tell you something about Bernie Sanders. I worked for 20 years. There's no script, okay? Okay, let's just be clear about that. Bernie decides what he wants to do, decides what he wants to say, says it with real authenticity and connection with people. That's why his campaign's doing so well here in New Hampshire and elsewhere.
Why do you get to the issues when you're debating on a Saturday night and Christmas week?
Well, listen, I would have loved to have a debate on Thursday night or a debate tomorrow night, the two most watched nights of the year, because the more people who see that debate, the better for us. Absolutely, without a doubt. But listen, we're going to, campaign tomorrow here in New Hampshire. We're going to Iowa, for the rest of the week up till Christmas. Our campaign's taking place on the ground in these early states and elsewhere. So, sure, we'd like more people to see the debate, but, that's just the way it is.
Was there agreement in advance between the campaigns to apologise and move on? It looked very rehearsed. I mean, did you just talk to them
absolutely.
beforehand?
No, we did. No, that was not rehearsed. That was authentic. It happened on the spot.
Will the Senator Clinton claim that she will not raise taxes on the middle class is strong? Do you think it's going to hurt him that he continues to push and double down on his plan, which would raise taxes?
Well, listen, he talked specifically about a proposal that would provide child care, 12 weeks of paid child care. That is a proposal supported by 20 United States senators, by a large number of progressive Democrats in the House of Representatives. That would cost, I think, $1.61 a week for people to have that benefit.
You see her up there on the stage saying that she's not going to raise any taxes, and he won't do that.
Well, listen, Bernie Sanders is going to be honest with people about how he's going to finance the programs that we need to move America ahead and restore the middle class. And if anybody thinks Bernie Sanders' plan is to hurt the middle class, they don't understand his plan at all. It's to rebuild the middle class. So he's going to be straightforward about these proposals. He's not going to make a pledge like that if it undermines the program that he supports. But I think everybody understands what's going to happen if Bernie Sanders is president. Instead of sending all the wealth to the top in America, which is happening right now, we're going to rebuild the middle class. That's his economic program.
Senator Sanders seemed to be more willing to talk about foreign policy tonight than he did in the second debate. What was that about?
Well, I don't know if he was more willing. I mean, I think, the questions were asked and he answered them. I mean, I think he's happy to make sure the American people understand there are big differences on foreign policy between Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. For example, in Syria, he is not a proponent of imposing a no-fly zone in Syria. In fact, he thinks it's a dangerous proposal. Bernie Sanders and President Obama have the same position on that. He is not a proponent of unilateral American interventionism in the Middle East and around the world. Instead, he believes that our allies need to share the burden, that America should no longer shoulder so much of the burden alone. He is not a believer in having a military budget which is not subjected to scrutiny, and a Pentagon which cannot be subjected to any accounting. Okay, he instead believes that we need to scrutinize our military budget and reprioritize it. He doesn't believe that America needs to spend as much on its military as the next 9 nations combined. Okay, so there are big differences on these issues.